imposed life versus directed living. Imposed life versus directed living.
It's the moment you've been waiting for. It's a conversation that must be had today and not tomorrow. Welcome to another episode of I'm Listening, I'm Ready with your host, Andrew E. Guy. Let's talk about it.
Hey guys, Andrew Guy here. I want to talk to you a little bit about this concept of imposed life versus directed living. Imposed life versus directed living. And the imposed life basically is what you think is the norm of society. Society may say, well, you should only do it this way. Society will create a box for you and says live in it. Society may create a jar and say this is exactly where you will exist and you will not get out. Society will says, well, there's only so many opportunities in the world, and then there's a lid on top of this, and there is no way that you're going to get beyond this lid here. But I want to let you know that I want you to transform your thinking. And I want you to think of this container with a lid, but I want you to imagine that there is a hole in this lid. There's a hole in this lid. What does that simply mean? That with every lid and limitations, you need to find a way to put a hole or to find a hole inside the lid. If there's a hole in the lid, there is no limitation. I was talking to a good friend of mine a while ago at an interview with Dwayne Morgan. He's a spoken word artist, globally known. I've traveled to many countries just to perform and to talk to people and to express. In our conversation, he talked about he started his business when he was in high school. He started his business in high school because there were no outlets for him as Black Jamaican descendant brothers to actually go out and create or to express themselves. In the conversation, we talk about, well, what do we find in society that's holding us back? One of the things that we discussed was that there are no venues or limited venues for us to express or for the gift to be expressed. He said, whatever you think about, if you're thinking about something, that means it's something that you should have done. So I want to challenge you. What are you thinking about? What is something that's annoying you, something that's bothering you, something that just gotta change? Maybe you are the person that's supposed to change that. And I want to encourage you today that whatever you are going through, whatever you're thinking about, whatever you feel frustrated about, several other people may not have that. Maybe you're the only one that's frustrated by it. Maybe you're the only one. I want to let you know that if it's bothering you, maybe it's something that you are supposed to change. Part of our discussion, we talk about how we're searching on social media. We're just waiting for the next person to download in our psyche and to take up some brain space. I want to let you know, I want you to start tighten up. I want you to start tighten up the range on your mindset. Close up those faculty that are open for interpretation or left open to interpretation. I want you to close up those faculties, and I want you to spend some time for just you. And I want to give you five things that you can focus on right now. That if you're having trouble discovering your gift, is because you have not really expressed the gift as yet. When you express the gift, then the gift needs an outlet. When you find your gift, you need to make sure you channel that gift so that there is an outlet for you to express it. I used to tell people that when the lightning strikes, or when lightning ends up on Earth, it's just charged particles of electrons. And when those charged particles connect and exchange their charges. They're looking for a place to outlet. They're looking for a landing place. And anything that's closest to it, that's exactly what is going to direct or guide or going to become the pathway for it to express itself. So I want you to start looking for place and ways to express your gifts. Once you find your gift, it will be easier for you to bottle your gift. It will be easy for you to package your gift and look for individuals who are looking for your gifts. So here's what I need you to do. I need you to stop beating down on yourself. I need you to start finding outlet to express your gifts and your expertise. I want you to stop looking at other people's venues and try to get into their venue. If there's something that you want to do, start doing it and start planning. And the planning doesn't have to be something that extraordinary. It doesn't have to be something that is outlandish. A plan could simply be, here I am at point A. How do I get to point B? And in between there is your plan. From point A to point B, that is your plan. The plan is just a process. Are you going to get from this point to that point? That is a plan. So let's take all the mystery out of planning. People say, oh, I'm a planner. I got a plan. Yes, there are many components to that plan, but at the end of the day, it means a plan is simply how am I going to get from here to there, and the people and the resources that I will need to get me from here to there, and that's going to help me to make the dream come true. That's a plan. So sit down and start thinking about where you are. If you haven't discovered where you are, you wouldn't have no desire to get to somewhere else. If you know where you are and you see what you could be doing, maybe that's a destination you should be looking to accomplish or get towards, but you will need a plan. The next thing, we talked about imposed life. Imposed life is one of those lives that, for example, I am a person of African descent, and the stereotypical mindset is that because if you're Black, you come from a certain neighborhood, then you shouldn't aspire to become anything. You should be like your neighborhood. You're supposed to be like your location. As a matter of fact, you're supposed to name, eat, live, breathe, and think like your surroundings. If that were the case, they wouldn't have pots, bigger pots to transform or transplant the plant. So I want you to think of yourself as a plant, and you are growing, you're developing, you're expanding. And what you need to understand is inside that expansion process, you need to make sure that you're always thinking bigger and better and longer and farther and wider, because you must grow for you to have a desire to change where you are to where you could possibly be. The next one that I want to throw at you is your thinking. What are you thinking about? What do you find yourself thinking about? If you're thinking about doing something, as I said before, that maybe you are the person that's supposed to do it. And so maybe you don't know how to do. And so what I want to do now, I want to give you this tip. And it's basically a framework. Whatever you're thinking about that's not been done, or you think it's not been done in your area, maybe something that you're supposed to do. That's number one. And the next thing that you want to do is I want you to focus. I want you to focus and stop distracting yourself. Focus on what you're thinking about. After you focus on what you're thinking about, then I want you to use your resources around you, whether it be the internet, social media, whatever. I want you to use the resources that's around you. Here is a principle. If you're not using what you have, you'll never get what you need. Here's what it is. A biblical principle: when Moses led all the children of Israel out of Egypt, they're right there, and they came to the Red Sea. They stopped. They stopped at the Red Sea because they said, Moses, where are we supposed to go? And the question came up, wasn't part of the scripture, but the question always comes up around faith-based organization. And one person said this to me one time. He said, what's in your hand? It says, Moses, pretend you're Moses. What's in your hand? So I'm asking you right now, what skill sets, what expertise, what things are you great at that's in your hands? I want you to take it. I want you to stretch it out. I want you to stretch it out inside that Red Sea. The Red Sea is the actual processes, the turmoil that you have to go through. There could be some struggles. There could be some difficulties. There could be some challenges. Doesn't matter. There could be some hurdles, but I want you to take your skill set, what's inside of you, and I want to stretch it out like a rod. What's in your hand? Stretch it out. And I want you, as you stretch it out, these are your feelers. This is a metaphor for you to take some time to start reaching out to some other people who may have a ladder to help you get up to the next level or get up to the next rung on the ladder. And so that's what you do. You want to reach out. So what's in your hand? I know everyone has a cell phone. Use that cell phone. Get it and use it and make it work for you. So here, we want you to think about what you're thinking about, focus on what you're thinking about, and then after you got to take some action, do something. And I need you to connect, reach out because you have something in your hand that's going to open up. You're going to create a path for you. Your gifts will make way for you. So after you reach out, you make the connection. Once you make the connection, that means you've connected with somebody. I want you to now interconnect. Interconnection is when there is an exchange. That means there's a giving and there's a receiving, a giving and a receiving. And so what you need to do is to make sure you look for those mutualistic relationships where both individuals are benefiting. You don't want to focus on the relationship where it's basically parasitic, where only one person is winning and then the other person is losing, or only one person getting nourishment and the other person basically starving, malnourished because they're not getting any of the winning. So look for those relationships that are ones that are mutualistic, where one person win, the other person win, both people win. It's like the thing that I always talk about. I said life is like washing hands. You said one hand washes the other, and in the end, they're both clean. All right. And the next part that I want you to do is once you make the connection and interconnect, you're going to interconnect. The interconnection part is where you share information, share expertise. They will share with you, well, this is what I'm good at. This is what I'm doing. This is what I got over here. Then you need to say, well, this is what I got over here. And the interconnect is when you share, right? You sow into the other person as they sow into you, and be leery of those relationships where people are only taking from you. They're not giving. They're not sowing back into you, meaning that if they're not sowing back into you, that means they're only extrapolating. They're taking from you. They're just squeezing you like an orange, and the juice is simply running out. After you've squeezed for so long, I hate to say it, there's no more orange juice left. So I want to encourage you, making sure that you're connecting with those people that upon connection, they're sowing back into your life. And then when you connect with the individual, you make the exchange, which is the interconnection. Then what I need you to do, I need you to create partnership, because it's the partnership that you create that's going to make the difference. It's the partnership, because you can't do everything by yourself. You need partnership. And that's the way to make your dream a reality, and for you to reimagine what's possible. My name is Andrew E. Guy. If you need to find me, I need you to follow me out there on the Instagram. It is Andrew Guy Speaks. Follow me out there on the Twitter. That is Andrew Guy Speaks. You can also find me out there on Facebook. That is Andrew E. Guy Speaks. That's the only place on the internet where it's different. It's Andrew E. Guy Speaks. You can find me out there, and you can check me out there on LinkedIn. But of all the places that I've told you, there's only one place or two places that you can find me. You can find me at the ILIRPODCAST.com. That is our show. That's where we get to connect with people and interconnect with people and share ideas that transform you, our viewers. So ILIR Podcast, as in ILIR podcast.com. And when in doubt, if you're looking for a speaker to speak at your event on resiliency or how to transform your mindset from where you are to become a winner, and so you can have more wins in life, you need to find me over there at my home site. That is AndrewGuySpeaks.com. I'll say it again, AndrewGuySpeaks.com. Ladies and gentlemen, that's my time. If you have any questions, I want you to like this video. I want you to share this video, and then I want you to post your questions in the comments below. And guess what? Share, like, comment, and make sure that you tune in next time for another episode with Andrew E. Guy on the ILIRPODCAST. I'm listening. I'm ready. It is a podcast dedicated for those who are on the go. Until next time, peace.